Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Transformers Legacy Wave 2 Core Class G2 Megatron figure. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We'll then have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We can then do some comparisons with the original owner of the mold, which is of course your standard Megatron from the Kingdom toy line. We can see how he displays and looks with other core class figures, and then just for a bit of fun we can see how he displays and looks with, oh there goes Soundwave, doesn't matter, and no space for him anyway, with the of course Generation Selects G2 Megatron. And then this is unbelievable, the original Generation 2 Megatron toy, so you can see the size difference there as well. So quite a bit to get covered in this video. So as I start to put all these down in a way, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because again it really will help me out. Also, before we cut this open, two things. One, I want to thank Robot Recruit for getting this to me nice and safely, that's who I pre-ordered it from. And two, let's have a look at the beautiful artwork on this very detailed little box. Now, I know the windowless packaging is always going to divide people's opinions, but it's nice that you can see the figure there, and then lucky with this, there's no damage to any of the window anywhere. We've got the normal Legacy artwork on the side there, and then of course on the side we've got Megatron in his robot mode. It says there core class, and then at the top there is the artwork for him in his tank mode. And he's going to take 12 steps to transform. So let's have a look at him inside here, and I've got to say, and I think a lot of people would concur with this, that the new core class range, I know they're not as detailed as, you know, the Doctor Wu and the New Age and all that sort of stuff, but obviously there's a huge price point difference. But what I think that they are doing with these little core class figures is they're doing them some justice, to be honest. I think the only poor is probably a strong word, perhaps the worst one so far is only Hot Rod, and I've really enjoyed all the others. So as you can see, he's attached in there. What I'm going to do very quickly then is just set him free from there and come straight back to you. Okay, so as you can see, I've set him free from the packaging, and yes, obviously this isn't the way that he's going to be displayed. Funnily enough, there's a little instruction just at the corner there, just basically showing you how to put him in his correct alternate mode. And I found this, I've only done 2 figures on Legacy Wave 2, and funnily enough, they've both been packaged in a way that means that you need to do a mini transformation purpose, or just correct it, shall we say, once you've got him out of the box. So of course, this is how he should be looking. So what we're going to do with the rest of the video, we're going to do some first impressions now, and then we're going to do some comparisons, and indeed we're going to see how he displays with the rest of the Legacy, and indeed some core figure lineups. And I really like this figure. I really like the whole G2 concept. I think the color is amazing. I brought the Generation Select Voyager class figure just because I thought the color scheme on it was so fantastic. I think the head sculpt is that going to focus, is absolutely brilliant. It does look side to side. He's got a bit of articulation there now. He's got super articulate arms and shoulders. We can see we've got a ball and socket joint in there and at the elbow, but he's also got the fact that you can fully rotate all of these around as well. And the reason why I know this is because of the other Megatron that was core class. You see you can rotate so many different things, as well as just the bicep joint there as well. He's also got a waist swivel, he's got ball and socket hips, he's got ball and socket knees. The only thing he hasn't got is an ankle rock. You can see it's all fused there, but again, you got to remember this is a core class figure, and I suppose it's as basic as Hasbro and Takara are going to get. Again, I've mentioned that some other companies that make the legend scale figures obviously are far more articulate and far more detailed, but as I've just said, this is your core class Hasbro Takara, and it's much cheaper, and again, as basic as you will get. The weapon that comes with him is brilliant, and if that was painted black, again, funnily enough, this is a full homage to the Generation 1 version of Megatron. So there we go. First impressions of him, looks good, great paint apps, really like it, to be honest. Let's do a quick comparison then of him with the original owner of the mold. So we've got Megatron there, and obviously I've popped his gun in his hand as well, and you can also as well, of course, you can roll this over so it looks like a fusion cannon at the top on his arm. But for Megatron in G2, he didn't have the fusion cannon on the arm, he had it on the top of his head, which we'll see in a second. But for now, let's have a look at him in his alternate mode. So I'm going to do the transformation process on here because it is a simple and basic one. So he says that. Let's hope I don't get it too wrong then. So let's separate this free at the back. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move the arms out like this. We're going to bring this top part all the way over and underneath. And this is so clever because it's pretty much exactly the same as what we're going to do as the siege version of this figure. So what we need to do is we need to turn this around, so we've got that dowel on the side, and the same with this. So as we fold over the top two parts of the tank, you can see that these are going to line together. It's just a brilliantly detailed scaled down version. Now what I didn't do was rotate that over. You see what I meant about all the extra bits of articulation you've got? So we've scaled that over down there. And in fact, what I also didn't do was rotate the barrel round. So there you go. So we're all learning at the same time. So that's it. That's pretty much how the top front part goes. The back bit is a little bit more simple. You're going to fold the legs over. Before we do that, we're going to spin him round at the waist. There we go, 180 degree at the waist. Now we're going to cascade this over itself so it sits inside like there. And the same on this side. Fold it over, cascade it on itself. And now let's just tidy this all up. There's a little clip there. There's a little clip there. Obviously underneath, it's just Megatron all folded up. But it's a core class. And again, not many people are going to display a tank like that. So they get away with it, shall we say. Now, the little cannon is inside, all tucked away. And then what we do is we take the small gun and we then pop this, there, through that gap. So once I've got it all pretty much tucked in, there was a tab. Have I just missed it? I'm not too sure. Oh no, it's okay, because you can rotate this around, you can lift this up and down, and again it does suffer a little bit, I think, because of its size, but if you're sort of displaying it from the side or from the front, I think you can get away with it. From the back, to be honest, I'm being super honest, it doesn't look the greatest. I did say that with the other version. But again, that's just due to its size and I suppose how basic it is. But still, a great little alternate mode for a great little figure. And again, it takes 12 steps. That's quite a few steps. So, some deluxe figures are 12 steps as well. So I don't think there's much more to say with him in that particular mode. Let's have a look at him back in his robot mode and do some more comparisons. So we're going to take the gun out. We will separate the leg, fold this out, separate the leg, fold this out, clip these into there, rotate the waist 180 degrees like so. And then what we're going to do, we're going to bring these apart. So of course they were all tucked in. Bring these apart, bring them around enough so you've got the space to take the huge backpack up and over, drop it down, turn the orientation of that around, so you've got the fist obviously at the front, and then the same with this, rotate this around, and then it's a case of turning this part here around until you can see his fist is visible there. So, and then we're going to click the tab in there, click the tab in there, and just tidy him up, shall we say. As I've said, great little alternate mode. You can of course rotate that around as we saw earlier with the original owner of the mold. Right, so let's pop his little gun in his hands, which will go there. I'm not too sure if we've got storage for this elsewhere. Let's have a look at the back. Maybe we can store it in the back. I'll have a quick look in a second. But my only, if I'm going to be really picky, and that is overly being really picky, maybe they could have painted this or just had a slightly different, just something slightly different. Rather than it being just a complete, all green colour. Now, it looks like this is going to fit. Yeah, well, there you go. So if you want to store the weapon at the back, to be fair, that I think makes him look even better. That is how I think, because it looks a little bit G1-esque with that coming at the back. I think. I don't know. I think obviously Megatron, for me, he only ever needs a fusion cannon. But as you can see, you can display either. So one more time with the original owner of the mould. And again, lovely colour schemes on it. Great detail. Another core class figure here. So this is again a Kingdom figure. Fun enough, that is going to be repackaged, I think, into Legacy as well. All right, the only problem with this is I'm working with carpet, as you can see. Aha, perfect. And we've now got a Legacy figure as well that I can put on the side. So this core class range is getting really good now. I'm sure you'll agree. And they're great. You know, I think they cover lots of niches, lots of markets. Obviously, people with pocket money, so younger kids, and again, other people who just perhaps can't afford the full size versions of them. They can still and of course, people who want to make up displays and dioramas with core class figures and Titan figures as well. They just seem to work. Let's move these out of the way. And I was going to do some comparisons with some normal deluxe figures, but I don't think there's much point. As you can see, they're just so much bigger. But what I thought we'd do for a bit of fun is, this is the Generation Selects G2 Megatron that I was on about earlier, that I absolutely love as well. And if I move him over, now I don't even think this guy is going to fit on screen. This is the original. No, he's not. Oh, excuse me, I'm laughing. This is the original Generation 2 Megatron figure. And as you can see where the homage is. You can see the lovely color scheme. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's so big compared to that. We've got a family of Megatrons there anyway. And I think on this point there's not much more to say. It is obviously just a complete redeco of a mold they've already used. I've just noticed his shoulders popped out. If you like the G2 colour schemes, or if unfortunately you're a bit of a completionist like me, he's obviously a must. Just a great colour scheme, great little figure, great detail, and he's going to go on my shelf. And I can't wait to put him there as well. Let me know what you guys think. You've probably already got him, to be fair. As I say, he was quite late out in this country. But as you can see, I think he's a brilliant homage to this particular guy here, right there. Take care, guys.